right, good evening and many thanks for joining us tonight, the 26th day of January, the year 2026. Indeed, it is a day that a lot has happened in the world of politics, from the President William Ruto's UDA and ODM marriage, or if you prefer the acronym political alliance, all the way to the political condemnation of what transpired yesterday, the attack on church and its congregants, that is on Sunday, that is yesterday, during a church service that was attended by the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, all the way to the headache of transition from grade 10. That and many more is what we'll be bringing you up in the next 30 minutes or so.
This is Kutv Primetime News with Auma Evans.
Alright, our sign language interpreter tonight is Joy Mtava. Remember, you can follow us on all of our social media platforms. We are coming to you live on YouTube at KUTV News. You can tweet us on X at KUTV_Kenya. You can also tweet us, or rather tag me along at Auma Evans, and the hashtag to use, Primetime News. So tonight we begin with matters politics, where President William Ruto has announced an agreement between the Orange Democratic Movement Party (ODM) and his United Democratic Alliance Party to form a coalition ahead of the 2027 general election. Speaking on Monday during the UDA National Governing Council meeting at State House, Nairobi, Ruto stated that his political alliance has the strength, the strategy, and the national appeal needed to deliver a decisive win at the 2027 general polls. Rajab Juma is on that beat tonight.
Arambe!
While addressing leaders of the United Democratic Alliance at the National Governing Council meeting at State House, Nairobi, President William Ruto outlined his government's achievements, the political direction, and strategies ahead of the 2027 general election. Ruto said he is ready to face his political opponents using evidence of performance and achievements, not insults.
We can confidently say that we have been faithful to the implementation of the agenda upon which the people of Kenya had voted for this administration. And we are ready to face our competitors with our scorecard and ask them what they can do better than what we have done. That is the competition we want to have with our competitors. We do not want to compete on the basis of insults.
And I'm convinced we will defend our scorecard in the next year's election.
The president noted that the current broad-based government arrangement has helped reduce political tensions and strengthened governance stability. Citing the 2022 elections results, Ruto stated that the UDA-ODM alliance is targeting a victory margin of between 2 and 3 million votes to ensure national stability and a strong mandate to implement the reform agenda.
So what we have agreed with the leadership of ODM, that let us explore the option and the opportunity of having a coalition going into the next election. Listen to me, guys. This election in Abuja, we want to win by a margin of between 2 and 3 million.
President Ruto also used the meeting to emphasize the implementation of UDA manifesto promises since 2022, including increasing energy production, expanding infrastructure, improving agriculture, and strengthening the delivery of public services.
For Kenya to move to the first world, we must generate at least 10,000 megawatts of additional energy. When we came into office, most contractors had left sites. Majority of the contractors had left sites. Lakini leo, all the contractors are back.
President Ruto's remarks to the UDA National Governing Council signals strategies aimed at building a strong political coalition targeting a decisive victory in the 2027 general election. Rajab Juma, KUTV.
All right, thank you Rajab Juma for that comprehensive reporting. Now listen to the following story. Religious leaders and human rights activists in Mombasa have today come out strongly to condemn the use of tear gas and excessive police force, or rather police officers, that disrupted a church service at Witima ACK Church in Othaya, Nyeri County. That is on Sunday. The incident, which caused fears and panic, forced worshippers, including women and children, to flee for safety. Speaking at the Muhuri offices, the leaders call on security agencies to respect the sanctity of places of worship, warning that such action threatens national peace and violates the Constitution of Kenya.
Twaomba serikali iheshimu nyumba za ibada zote. Twaomba serikali isijaribu kuvuruga au kuharibu na kuwatoa fikra watu ambao wamekuja kuabudu Mungu na wamekuja wataka amani, Mungu alete amani katika ulimwengu. Wao watafanya vitendo ambavyo kwamba havistahiki katika ubinadamu, havistahiki katika ibada, bali ni laana mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.
Na hatuko tayari kukubaliana na yale yofanyika, na tukikataa tukisema hatutaki, kuanzia kwa kanisa, kuanzia kwa msikiti. Nyumba za kuabudiwa Mungu zinataka ziheshimike. Ninajua kwamba taifa letu tulimchagua rais na tukampa kura, na sasa ndio amekalia kiti. Tungeliomba polisi waajibike na waeleweke kwamba taifa la Kenya lina watazama wao. Raia wote wanaangalia polisi. Itakuwa ni jambo la kusikitika, polisi anavaa ninja, gari zinakuja hazina plate number. Hapa tuko Sudan. Kwa hiyo hatutaki ifikie tena 2027 tuone haya kija. Tunataka yakome, ndio tunamuomba rais wetu. Tunaomba iwe mwanzo na mwisho.
Tunataka wa record statement, tutajuazi mambo ya criminal haina limitation. One day one time somebody atakuwa responsible na tutaona matokeo. Kwa hivyo wasife moyo, na sisi tuko nao, na tunataka wale waliohusika wote wachukuliwe hatua.
Alright, and to matters education, Matungulu Boys High School in Kangundo in Machakos County has been closed indefinitely after fire broke out on Sunday night, razing 3 dormitories and destroying students' belongings. The cause of the fire is yet to be established, and investigations are ongoing to determine the cause of the fire. 4 students have been arrested in connection with the suspected arson to assist police with the investigations. Learning activities at the school have been suspended as authorities assess the situation. The incident left at least 15 students injured, prompting an emergency response from medics at the Kangundo Level 4 hospital. 10 students were treated at the scene, while 5 in critical condition were referred to the facility for further specialized treatment. And still matters education, even as leaders and education stakeholders in the country continue to champion for free education. For parents of Kangai Primary School in Mwea, Kirinyaga County, the reality on the ground tells a very different story. Patricia Mutanu reports on a day learning was disrupted as angry parents stormed the school protesting what they termed as illegal exorbitant school fee levies, forcing the school head to flee for safety.
Calm at Kangai Primary School was shattered early this morning as parents descended on the institution, demanding answers over what they described as unjustified increment of school fees. The parents accused the school head of imposing tuition fees of 900 shillings, 1,500 shillings for welfare, and additional 20 shillings daily for pupils for remedial lessons conducted every morning.
Wasasi tutatoa wapi? Na ni primary, hii ni secondary, hii ni secondary. Na asubuhi tunapea mtoto shilingi 20 ati ni ya tuition. Hatutaki hiyo. Sisi wazazi hatutaki hiyo.
According to the parents, pupils who fail to pay extra charges have been repeatedly sending home, denying them their right to education. The situation quickly escalated as parents broke into the school's head office, calling for his immediate transfer. The parents further fault the school management for failing to involve them before introducing the new fee structure.
Hizo zote hatutaki, patamu na hatutaki hizo. Tunataka tu watoto wakule juu mwalimu ameandikwa na serikali.
Police officers were forced to intervene, rescuing the school head away from the crowd. They insist that they are not against quality education, but they say rising costs are unbearable.
Sisi hatutaki huyu mwalimu kwa hii shule na tutatoka hapa kwa hii shule leo akiwa hatakuwa. Mpaka ile siku atatoka hii shule ndio tutatoka hapa.
The parents have now vowed not to allow the school head back to the institution, calling on the Ministry of Education to intervene and deploy a new administrator who will engage them in managing the school. Patricia Alex for KUTV, Nairobi.
Meanwhile, the outgoing Vice-Chancellor of Kenyatta University, Professor Paul Wainaina, has today handed over the instrument of power to the incoming acting Vice-Chancellor, Professor John Okumo, summing up his time at KU. Professor Wainaina, in his speech, thanked KU fraternity for the support and wished the very best to the incoming team. Edward Nyamu reports from KU's main campus.
It was a joyous and at the same time an emotional evening for the Kenyatta University fraternity as they ushered in the new Kenyatta University phase of management under the leadership of the incoming acting Vice-Chancellor, Professor John Okumu. The instruments of power included the KU title, KU Motor Vehicle Logbooks, the Governance Document Entailing University Act of 2012, the KU Charter 2013, the KU Statute of 2013, the KU Strategic Plan 2023-2027, with the instruments of authority being the seal, the logo, the mess, and the KU flag.
Do we do for each, or do you want us to do one?
The event was graced by the outgoing VC, Professor Paul Wainaina, who has served the institution for about 10 years, and now it was his time to step down and give the mantle to the next VC. In his speech, Wainaina reflected on his time at KU, acknowledging that his departure reflects the beginning of a new era. Professor Okumu, on his part, thanked the outgoing VC for the immense contribution in spearheading the rise of KU academically and pledged to continue with the good work as he takes the reins. The handover process now marks the beginning of a new tenure of leadership, and the event was largely graced by Ministry of Education Representative Dr. Gatama Gichini and Deputy Vice-Chancellors and legislators, who lauded the new management and the outgoing one. The handover of the power now gives the Kenyatta University management team a new sheriff in town, and now it's all hands on deck for Professor Okumu to steer KU to even greater heights. Edward Nyamu, KUTV.
Now, the Center for Gender Equity and Empowerment under the flagship of Kenyatta University Women Economic Empowerment Hub has today awarded students for showcasing creativity, prowess in communicating and advocating against gender-based violence. Led by Director KU WeHub, Professor Judith Waudo, the creativeness was put into consideration with an aim to influence learners and the wider community on promoting gender equity. The contestants were awarded for their input, and according to Registrar Academic Dr. Bernard Kivunge, the winners will now act as ambassadors to the wider community. All right, 19 minutes past 9 o'clock, time to take our very first break here on the KUTV Primetime News. Remember, still, we have much more lined up for you after the break.
A new era, a new people. This is the Law Matters Show. A program that brings you legal sensitization on your television.
My statement is written and just the quote the prosecution.
I think that this loss is a setback for Raila Odinga.
What policy recommendations were fronted by the candidate?
With diversity, we demystify important legal issues locally, regionally, and internationally.
What Tanzanians.
Join me, Elvin Onsongo, as I bring you more insights on law matters.
We are looking at social issues. What is the problem? Is it the economy? Is it...
Law Matters Show, creating awareness, advocacy, and enhancing lives.
Na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii, na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari.
Mimi ni mwanamke mwake.
Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Kimwele.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Auma Evans.
All right, welcome back and thank you for keeping it Primetime News. Let's continue. Now, the government has issued a stern warning to traders holding maize, giving them 30 days to release their stock to the market or face the importation of duty-free maize in a bid to stabilize the price of maize flour. Speaking in Sagana, the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development, Mutahi Kagwe, said that the government is ready to purchase maize from local farmers at 4,000 Kenyan shillings per bag to replenish the national strategic food reserves. Kagwe, however, cautioned that tough measures will be taken if maize is not released to the market within the stipulated time, emphasizing that food security is a national responsibility that cannot be ignored.
We should have enough maize in our stores. Serikali imetoa fertilizer, serikali imeongeza bei, sasa tunanunua na 4,000. Ndio mbona dongo? Tunanunua mahindi na 4,000 shillings. Lakini vile tumeona, in spite of the increase in the price to 4,000 shillings, farmers are still holding. Wakulima, bado nyinyi, you are still keeping the maize. Yet, as NCPB, we are buying maize now. Tumefungua stores, tumesema maize iletwe, mahindi iletwe. That is why I am appealing to the farmers who have already harvested to bring their maize to NCPB.
Now let me take you to county number 001. Now residents of Bombolulu Phase 2 in Mombasa County have protested the alleged takeover of community land near Ziwa la Ng'ombe wetland by an unidentified private developer, warning that the construction of a perimeter wall could worsen flooding. Listen in.
Bombolulu Phase 2 residents have protested an alleged grab of community land near the Ziwa la Ng'ombe wetland, saying the fence was erected without consultation or public participation and fear it would block natural water channel, thus increasing flood risk.
By its name, a Ziwa is a natural wetland. That's why it was given that name Ziwa. So by any standards, this is a place which should not have been allocated or grabbed, such that when people claim it's their land, who gave them? How did they acquire it? We wish to know. We have written to the county government. We have reached Neema. They don't even respond to our letters, but we continue suffering.
David Mutunga, the property owner, protested, saying floods have repeatedly submerged homes, vehicles, and household items, and that the wall would divert more water into residential areas, demanding for the construction to stop.
Ukuta ukijengwa ni kwamba utaziba maji ambayo yamekuwa kwanza yakiflow yakiingia kwa hili ziwa. Ina maana maji yatatapakaa tena kwa nguvu kuingia kwa nyumba zetu. Kwa hiyo sisi tunaomba kama county na Neema anza wasitishe huo mradi ambao unaendelea wa kujenga huo ukuta, tufanye proper public participation, wala si kwamba tunakataa kama kweli kuna mtu amenyakua ama amepewa ardhi ni yake, lakini atafanyaji drainage ya maji.
While disagreeing with the project, Hassan Thoya, the village administrator, said local leaders were not informed and warned that the wall could worsen flooding that has previously required boat evacuation.
Ikiwa mimi ndio mzee wa mtaa wa hii area, sijaona hata mtu yeyote kuniambia hii ploti ni yangu, nataka hivi na hivi na hivi. Hakuna. Sielewi ni nini kinachoendelea. Ukiulizwa naambiwa sijui kuna madamu nani aliruhusu. Sasa yeye kama ni chief wa Freetown anaruhusuje watu wa Kazandani huku wafanyiwe miradi bila kuelewa? Singependelea hivyo mimi. Hata kama yeye ni chief, mimi ni mzee wa mtaa. Mbona haja nipigia hata simu kunihusisha jambo lolote?
As pressure mounts, residents want answers on land ownership and immediate action from county and national authorities before flooding and environmental degradation worsen.
All right, now the government has acknowledged gaps in Kenya's overseas employment system that have exposed workers to exploitation. And as KUTV's Glory Kathure reports, Principal Secretary for Labor and Skills Development Shadrach Madime linked the rise in cases of mistreatment of Kenyan workers abroad to rogue recruitment agencies and illegal practices such as traveling on tourist visas with the intention of securing employment, which has been identified as a key factor driving human trafficking.
In an effort to narrow the gaps in Kenya's overseas employment system and reduce work exploitation, Principal Secretary for Labor and Skills Development Shadrach Madime clarified that work permits must be issued in Kenya before traveling, and any claims that a visitor visa can be converted into a work permit abroad are misleading and associated with trafficking networks.
With a visitor's visa, when you get to the country of destination, it cannot be converted into a work permit. The work permit is issued here in Kenya before you travel abroad. Those who are cheating you that you can travel on a tourist visa and then when you get there it will be converted are the ones who are engaged in human trafficking. And that is the reason why the rights of Kenyans are being trampled upon abroad.
To safeguard workers, the government now ensures all verified foreign job vacancies to be uploaded on the National Employment Authority (NEA) website. Private recruitment agencies must have overseas job opportunities formally attested by Kenya's ambassadors, high commissioners or labor attachés before advertising them.
For you to know that a job is genuine, it has to be uploaded on the National Employment Authority website. We have told all private recruitment agencies that before you start advertising any vacancy that obtains in a company abroad, attestation will have to be carried out. And attestation is carried out by our Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
The number of licensed private recruitment agencies has been reduced from approximately 1,200 to 600, with violators deregistered and publicly listed on the NEA website marked in red, while compliant agencies are marked in black.
That we have reduced the private recruitment agencies from 1,200 to about 600. We continuously vet them so that whenever a Kenyan raises an issue concerning a certain PRA and it is found to be wanting, it is found to have contravened the regulations that we have put in place, we proscribe them. We remove them from our list. You'll see the ones that have been deregistered are in red. The ones in black ink are the ones whose status is okay.
Kenyans seeking employment abroad are urged to use official government platforms to verify recruitment agencies and job offers to avoid exploitation and ensure safe working conditions abroad. Glory Kadhure, KUTV, Nairobi.
A story by Glory Kadhure takes us to our second breather here on KUTV. Remember, up next is sports news.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Badala ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili.
Bila uoga, watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi. Hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka ya nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
Right, it's time for the latest in the world of sports. Now, in an English Premier League action, Manchester United defeated league leaders Arsenal by 3-2 at Emirates Stadium. Goals for Manchester United were scored by Brian Mbeumo, Patrick Doku and Matthias Cunha, while Arsenal's goals were scored by Lisandro Martinez, who scored an own goal, and Mikel Merino. That important victory for Manchester United moves them up to 4th place in the English Premier League standings. In tonight's fixture, Everton will host Leeds United in another English Premier League action. Alright, so that's a wrap for tonight. Many thanks for the men and women behind the scene, and for all those who made this production a success, and for your esteemed viewers for always keeping us a company in the last 32 minutes or so. My good name is Auma. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Joy Mtava. Until next time, do have a lovely night and God bless.